these people would fight on sight. You understand? Just like blacks and Latinos fight on sight for everything else. You understand? But these are men who are here, who brought their wives, brought their children, their families have traveled great distances to serve the Most High. You understand? Because it's time to put the nation back together. This was the spirit. The disciples who were with Christ, who lived in Jerusalem, the Jews could not understand how these other Israelites, or the house of Israel, who were not in the commonwealth of Israel, how they could come back and be brothers with us again, because they were kicked out of the nation. They were looked at as filthy. You're not one of us. You're not a Jew. You're a Mexican. You're a Puerto Rican. You're a Native American. You're a Seminole. You a brother from the wrong side of the world. You aren't one of us here from the city. You from the country. You from the field. You got an accent. You eat different food. You're a vegetarian. You're light skin. I'm dark skin. Your hair is straight. Mine's is curly. Your nose is thin. Mine's is thick. Your lips are thin. Mine's are thick. You're different. Your hair is different. You dance different. You eat different foods. Regular, foolish, stupid, superficial garbage. You understand? That divides our people to this very day, that it literally takes the spirit of God to unite blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You understand? Our people will join everyone else before we join each other. That's why it takes the spirit of the Lord. All right. Keep reading.
And were confounded.
They were confused because people have come from all of these places, Bob Kishore.
Because that every man heard them speak in his own language.
Everybody heard them speak in their own language. All right. They figured they Jews. They got their garments on. We see the fringes, the studs and the spikes. And then I look at him and I say, okay, this is a Jew here. All right. He's a Jesus Israelite. And then he opened his mouth and comes out. What the hell is this? Just that. Then you look and he opened his mouth and Spanish comes out. French comes out. Arabic comes out. Some Egyptian language comes out. An Ethiopian language comes out. He said, wait a minute. I see fringes and studs and braids and boots. And what the hell are you doing speaking this other language when you a Jew? You understand? Keep going.
Verse 7. And they were all amazed and marveled.
Verse 8.
Verse 8. And how hear we every man in our own tongue?
In real time on the StreamYard.
Slack it, sir. Come on. I'm on the StreamYard, sir. It's lagging a little bit.
And I'm still frozen. Verse 8.
Con. All right. It seems like it's better now, sir.
Verse 8, brother. Read verse 8. 8.
Verse 8. And how hear we every man in our own tongue?
Keep going.
Wherein we were born.
We hear these Jews that's supposed to be from Jerusalem in our own language where we were born. Keep going.
Verse 9. Parthians.
Keep reading. Parthians, Carthage,
and Medes,
over
and
like
Medes.
Greece, Italy, and Medes. The Mede and the Persian Empire towards India and Asia. Keep going.
And Elamites.
Elamites, the children of Elam is the East Indians. We were in captivity under them as well. And many of our people still lived in those lands. We were scattered. We've been scattered for a very long time as a people. That's why the Spirit of the Lord is to gather us together, not because of where you grow up, not because of where you're from, not because of your language, because of who your Father is. And because of Christ, now you can come back and join the nation to rebuild it again. Keep going.
And the dwellers in Mesopotamia.
Mesopotamia. That's where life began. In the Middle East. Keep going.
And in Judea.
Keep going.
And Cappadocia.
And Cappadocia. Phrygia, Pamphylia, Egypt, Libya, Cyrene, Rome, Cretes, Arabians. These are the children of Israel who live in places. Arabia, Rome, Egypt, Libya. We were scattered and spread, running from captivity, being kicked out of the nation. Mother and father did some evil. Now we got put out. And now, because these are devout men who want to serve the Lord, they're still coming back to Jerusalem for the Passover. And now the Holy Spirit of the Lord is on these brothers and sisters, is on these brothers specifically. And now they are speaking with fire, with blazing. They're being taught. They got a strength, the spirit that Christ sent back. All right. They're able to understand because they're all speaking their own native language. People from their country came together because if you're traveling, let's say you're traveling from Egypt, it's not just going to be you, your wife, and your son traveling from Egypt. How do you go to the Passover? How do we get to the Passover? A caravan of brothers and sisters in a car, trucks. We getting on planes. We getting on buses. We getting on trains. We traveling together because they're literally leaving from another country. So it's not just one or two or three. It's a lot of people coming, and they speak a different language, but they hearing the word of the Lord in their language. But they're all Israelites. You understand? That's how they were able to.
Most High Christ. Most High Christ. Go ahead, clap it up. Let me know if y'all can hear. If brothers and sisters can hear, put a 1W in the chat. All right, put a 1W in the chat. If you cannot hear, well, if you can't hear, then you ain't gonna hear what I'm saying. But if you can't hear me, put a 1W in the chat. All right, 1Ws in the chat. Shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yashim to all the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alathun Bashim Yahshua to all the sisters. I'm priest and officer of 5,000 Malak, and I'm here teaching the Wednesday night law class. Most High in Christ. The sister Shalom Nahar said 1W. Okay, so you can hear. Now let me know. I'll ask your husband. I'll ask Kakam Gabar when he comes on. How I sound? Does it sound blurry? Does it sound jammed up? Like I'm far away from the microphone? If so, let me know. Babu Kushai. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started with class, though. So Most High in Christ, once again, another Wednesday night law class here. We got a lot, man. I got a lot on my mind because we got a lot to discuss tonight, brothers and sisters. We have a lot to go over. Tonight's class topic is, are there any good white people? And we have some good things lined up for you. I've been hearing this my whole life as from a brother from the tribe of Judah, so-called Negro in America. I've been hearing this my entire life. That so-called white people, they are good white people. These good white people that are flooding America and flooding the earth. You understand? That's flooding this place. We're going to find out, are there any good white people? Shalom, Sister Nichelle. Yahweh Shamar Alathah Bashim Yahushua. Shalom, mighty man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. What's going on, soldier? I got some 1W, so we're gonna continue on. We're gonna rock it out. All right. Give me 1 second, everybody, okay? Give me 1 second. Just bear with me. Let's bring this young man on. All right. 1W from the young man, Most High in Christ. I see you, brother. I see you. Also, if y'all have any questions, please, y'all know not to be hesitant with me. Put them questions in the chat. Excuse me. Put those questions in the chat. If you're a brother or sister who has a question, put that question in the chat, man. Let's get class rocking and rolling. All right. Let's get these questions answered. We're here to solve all your problems, help brothers and sisters with everything they need help with, learning the mysteries of life. All right. Most High Christ, sis. Oh, that's good. Video freezes here and there. Okay, the sister said the sound is good. So everybody's saying the sound is good, but the video freezes. Okay. Now, sis, Nichelle, you're not speaking about the video I had on before class, are you? Of Captain Natazaka Shah in Virginia. If you're referring to that class, yes, that class was freezing. But so far, is this video freezing? Is this video frozen? If it is, let me know, Baba Rashad. Sis also said the sound is good. Okay, Most High Christ. All right. All right. Most High Christ. I'm going to take this thing down here. All right. We got a hell of a class for y'all this evening. While we're waiting on Priest and Officer Kakumba Bar, it's like here. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. All right. While we're waiting on Priest and Officer Kakumba Bar, make sure brothers and sisters are logging into the chat. I'm sorry, logging into class. The login information is in the chat room. All right, here we go. This right here, it's in the chat. So make sure if you're a brother or sister who is trying to earn their Hebrew name, make sure you click on that link and you follow the instructions on the link. It's pretty self-explanatory so that you can get your name for class. I'm sorry, you can get your name, your Hebrew name, and your credit for class. The sister is saying it's this video. So you're saying that this video is freezing up, sister? This video freezes? I got that my sound is good, but the video is freezing. It could be just connection issues. We're gonna try to work this thing out. I can see it now. It is a little etchy. I can understand where you're coming from now, sis. I see it. Okay, no sweat. Most High Christ. Right, the sound is good. We got that down. The sound is good. It's the video. It could also be that the for whoever's watching the class too, it could be your internet connection, right? It could be your internet connection, but we're going to fix it. We're going to get these kinks worked out to bring you a unadulterated raw truth from the ISUPK and the Commander Juniata. I believe that sister is in Nichelle Taylor. Get me right on this, sis. You're up there in Omaha, Nebraska, correct? If I may, sis, could you please tell me what the political climate is like in Nebraska right now? To be Black or Hispanic or Native Indian, what is it like to live in Nebraska under Donald Trump this second term? If you could, sis, I would like to know that. You understand? I would like to know that, Sister Nichelle Taylor. Let me know what it's like. Just type it in the chat. Tell me, is it good? Is it bad? Is it terrible? Is it better? Are things better for Black people in Omaha, Nebraska? Are things better for Black people in Nebraska? Hispanics, right? Is it better for North American Indians under Donald Trump? How's your living conditions up there? What's the politicians like? Who is your mayor? Who is your governor? These are things I would like to know. You understand? These are just things I would like to know. Here we go. There he is. Look at that fire war crown. Look at that.
Hey, shalom. How about you, Shabrakata?
How about you, Mr. What's going on, Kakumba Bar? It's good to see you. Clap it up. Clap it up.
Yep.
Damn right. You say you Tawaka
Khan.
Most High Christ, mighty man. Most High Christ. I'm asking the sister Nichelle a question. This is going to go into tonight's topic. The sister Nichelle Taylor is, and this is for any brother or sister. Y'all all aren't here in Kansas City with me. I know what the climate is like here in Kansas City if you're Black and Hispanic. The climate in Kansas City, if you're Black and Hispanic, is terrible. And it's been that way forever. I want to know what Omaha, Nebraska is like. What is Omaha like? I've been up there, but I don't live there. All right. So I would like to know from a citizen of Omaha, Nebraska, or just the state of Nebraska, what is it like to live there? The sister says, it's rough. We get no love. Okay, that's just what I expected. Would you like to break that down for me, sis? The sister Michelle lives in Omaha, Nebraska. Give her a hand. She's up there, could come where Bud Crawford is from. The pride of Omaha, Bud Crawford. I like that brother there.
Right.
They stripped him of his titles because he didn't pay the fee. But that brother there is a real champion now. And he was pulled over by the police the weekend of his parade in Omaha.
Right.
Weekend of the day of his parade, the night of his parade, of the celebration where he received the key to the city of Omaha. That brother was pulled over. Do you understand? Pulled over. If you don't hear. Now, this isn't necessarily to Bud Crawford, but this is to the blacks and Hispanics like P. Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, who put on a facade to become something they're not. The upper echelon, the aristocrat of our people. The scripture I'm gonna have you pull is for them, right? I want to show blacks and Hispanics something. Give me Decade Stop Face, I believe Jeremiah. Give me Jeremiah 4:30, right? Give me Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 30. The sister says the housing is terrible, very few healthy grocery stores in our neighborhoods. Listen, sis, you know what's so sad about what you're saying? This affects all of us in every city. And that's the point of me asking, sis. And just so you know, Commander Juliana is sending his men to Omaha. We have brothers. This is why I'm assuming, Kakam Gabar, this is one of the sisters that you and Tazan fished when y'all went up there.
That's there's a brother in Omaha, and if I'm not mistaken, I think she might know him. So yeah.
Okay. Most High Christ. Most High. Well, that's once again, that's due to the work that you and Tazan have done under Commander Juliana. Commander Juliana is sending brothers to Omaha, sis. He's sending his prophets, his priests to Omaha, so that brothers and sisters can have a healthy food, can have resources, can have safety, and have peace of mind living under this devil, the white man. We're sending brothers. There's brothers there. You understand? All we have to do, if you're a brother or sister in Omaha, get in these classes. Get in these classes and call Officer Tazan, who's over Omaha. The sister says no resources for blacks. City is totally segregated. Wow. It's 2025, Kakam Gabar, and Omaha, Nebraska is fully segregated, just like Kansas City. The sister says what? Go figure, Kakam. The sister says we now have a black mayor. They have a black mayor, and the city is terrible. The sister says she's the rib of a warrior. Yeah, okay, in Chicago, a warrior in Chicago. Okay, get a sister.
Is that in Chicago?
Yeah, warriors in Chicago. Yeah.
Oh,
Christ. Give a warrior a hand. I know a warrior very well. That's my brother right there, sis. Damn right. Hardcore, sis. Okay. Well, listen, sis, then you know she's married to a priest of the Lord. She absolutely knows that Commanding Juliana has men in Omaha, and we're raising up an army there. And if you're a brother or sister in Omaha, join Commanding Juliana's men. Join the Israelite School of UPK. Join the Lord's army. Be protected from all of the danger that is soon to come, that is following us like a hawk on our back. That's why there's no resources with the black mayor. Go figure, Kakam. There's a black mayor in all of these black cities where the black people that live in the city of a black mayor are living terrible. That's the same story here in Kansas City under Quentin Lucas. I told that nut Senator Isaac Knox up there in Iowa when we conducted the food drive, I told him we've had 3 black mayors consecutively here in Kansas City. 3 black mayors, Emmanuel Cleaver, Mayor Sly James, and Quentin Lucas. Black people have done terrible, worse over the past 3 black mayors. The crime have gone up. Black people have lived worse. They shut down more grocery stores in our communities and in our ghettos. Gentrification is on the rise. Redistricting is also on the rise. Same with y'all up there in Iowa, Kakam. Y'all can't escape redistricting. They're redistricting everywhere. Also, that Donald Trump can win the 2028 presidential election. Also, the Republicans can control the House. All for silly personal gain for our oppressor, so he can control us more. He can have more control to be more cruel to the children of God, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's why those black mayors, listen, that sister Jasmine Crockett, she's just put in her bid to run for senator of Texas. She wants to be a senator of one of the senators in Texas. And this sister, she is on video saying that you can't despise the Israelis. You can't despise the country of Israel based off what one prime minister has done. She said that's just like America's allies hating America because Donald Trump is in office. I don't know where Jasmine Crockett has been for the last 276 years, but I think every president of America has been terrible. What in the hell is Jasmine Crockett talking about? That's black politics. That's politics. You have a black face in there that receives white money. And so because you have a black person in office, just like in Chicago, just like in Memphis, just like in Baltimore, they receive white money, Jewish money, AIPAC money. They receive money from white donors. And because they have white money in their pocket, they're never going to fight for you. I have a better solution for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. A man that receives black money that serves a black God to help black people. That man is Commander General. That's your option. That's a better option. The sister says we only have 4 grocery stores for our entire side of the city. And guess what they mostly sell? I already know, sis, pork. This is black. Now listen, this sister lives in Omaha. There are people watching this class who's going to be from Harlem, who's going to be from Iowa, who will be from St. Louis, from Texas, from Colorado, from Oregon, from Los Angeles, California, from Mexico, from Tamaulipas. And guess what? They're all going to say the same thing. Life is terrible. It's terrible for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, no matter where you try to run off to. That's also in the Bible, in the book of Deuteronomy. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. You try to go to get a farm and live out in the country somewhere in Georgia or Arkansas, and guess what? There's a brother who has a Freedom Acres ranch in Colorado. He bought 1,000 acres in Colorado, has a ranch with him and his wife. He's autistic. And the brother, he has a ranch in Colorado. Brother, do you know that when he moved and bought this ranch in Colorado, that's 1,000 acres, that white locals poisoned his crop. They poisoned his cattle so that his cattle died, so that he lost money. And he kept reporting to the local sheriff's office. He reported to the FBI. He reported to the police in the city he lived in, his municipality law enforcement. And do you know they did nothing about it? And these are white men in Colorado, farmers and ranchers who hate to see this brother get wealth and to go and spend his money to actually do something with himself to benefit his community and buy land. Buy land that's for sale. They poison his cattle, poison his crop out. Because no matter where you try to escape to, no matter if you have a white mayor or a black mayor, no matter if you have a Latino mayor or you live on the reds amongst your people, you live in the suburb with white people or the ghetto with your people, God has cursed Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians because we failed to keep his law. I had some nut earlier I was talking to, some sister could come, who tried to come into the truth here in Kansas City. And she is mentally unstable. And I told her, I said, sis, you are too unstable mentally to be and to join the ISUPK. I said, I would like for you to go and receive help, professional medical help for your mental instability. She has mental illness full of demons, this sister. She was raped and molested from a child. You can only imagine the house she grew up in. And she was just a compulsive liar, Kakam. And this sister told me, you know, the solution she gave me was, Kakam? She said, what black people need to do is we just need to unify. We just need unity. How many times have you heard that in your time in the truth, Kakam? That we just need unity. And that will make everything better. If we just unify, that would make black people now magically receive resources, magically receive government funding, magically receive good health and safety programs in our ghettos. If we just unify. And I told her, I said, well, sis, in the ISUPK, we do have unity. I said, but more important than unity is our obedience to the Most High God. There is nothing else more important than obeying God. Nothing. If you don't obey the Most High God, guess what you're going to have? You're going to have unity, all right. You're going to be the Black Panther Party. And this is what I told her could come. I said, we've had black people have unity and come together. We had the Black Panther Party. Where is the Black Panther Party today? What happened to all the founding fathers of the Black Panther Party? Dead, hooked on drugs, or in jail. I think Bobby Seale is the only one who has any sense who's still living. Bobby Seale, that's it. They were all hunted by the United States federal government at 19 and 21, like Fred Hampton in Chicago. They had unity, and they're all gone. Do you understand? The Nation of Islam had unity. They had so much unity, they ran Philly and Harlem. Ran it. Now they're nowhere to be found, Doc. Now there is no Muslim Mosque number 7 incorporated under Elijah Muhammad because he's dead and so is everyone that followed him. We've had plenty of unity. The Haitians had unity when they destroyed the French and Napoleon Bonaparte. What's the condition of the Haitians today? They're eating mud. Literally, the Haitians are eating mud pies from the mud in the ground, the dirt in the ground. They make mud pies and eat it. The people who once defeated their oppressors. You understand? We have plenty of unity, plenty of it in the civil rights movement, during the Reconstruction era under Marcus Garvey, Booker T. Washington, and W.E.B. Du Bois. We had all this unity, and we are hooked on crack. We don't have fathers in our homes, and we are number 1 fired and the last hired. All because we don't obey the Most High God, not because we don't unify. What are you going to unify under? Everybody's different belief system. You're a Christian, I'm a Muslim, you're an Israelite. How the hell are we going to unify? That's the problem with the Black Christian church. The problem is all of that unity divides all of us, Kakam. All of that unity, it divides everybody. That's why there's so many different denominations just to be a Black Christian, just to be a Black Muslim. There are different denominations. There's Sunni, there's Nation of Islam, there's Authentic, there's this, there's the Moors, brother. All of this unity, it divides all of us. I have a better solution. How about we all unify under one authority, one faith, one Lord, and one baptism? And that's in the ISUPK and the Command and Journey Out. You got that
right. The precept, Jeremiah chapter 4.
In verse 30, Baba Kushan.
Yeah, Khan.
And Salaki, the sister did say her husband lives there. So I'm assuming this is not
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is not a warrior in Chicago.
No,
Okay.
He came down here when we broke ground.
Okay, Most High Christ.
Down here, So he's out in Nebraska, and he corresponds a lot with Officer Tazan. So that's definitely
Most High Christ.
Kind of.
Okay, Most High Christ. Well, look, it's Salaki. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Let me just shut the hell up there, Sister Nichelle Taylor. I'm thinking she's married to the officer, the hardcore, my brother up there in Chicago under Captain Marquardt, Officer Warrior. I'm thinking that's what she's referring to. Let me shut the hell up because I don't know what in the hell I'm talking about. Let me just be quiet. The water, sis. Go ahead, Kakam. You got the scripture.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, and verse 30. And it says, "And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou closest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with the ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting."
Listen, let me tell you something, if I make it come. The Bible says, when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? How are we spoiled? We have black entertainers. Shalom, Sister Bashima. Yahweh Shema Alatha Bashim Yahushua. We have black entertainment. You know what black entertainment does? It brings in so much revenue to the United States of America. The blues, R&B, black movies, black Hollywood stars, black actors, black wealth. You see that could come? Black wealth, quote unquote. We have black millionaires and billionaires. They're spoiled, which means they're ruined. They're ruined by the philosophies of this world, by Christianity. Christianity does one thing so well. It teaches us how to be selfish. It teaches us to get the hell away from the other niggas in the ghetto. I can't wait for the day that I make it big in the entertainment industry and I go and move away from my people. We're the only people who believe success comes with being away from the people that you were born into. There is no other race of people who believe that they will be successful if they detach themselves from their race. There is no species that believes they will be successful if they detach themselves from their own kind. Precept. Anybody know? Could come, you know?
Slocky, not off the top.
All flesh consorted to their own like. That's in the Apocrypha, brother. Yeah. All flesh consorted to their like. There is no other species. What fellowship have the wolf with the sheep? There is no species that God created that believes they receive power, that they receive power by detaching themselves from the thing that is not them. Blacks, right. Hispanics, and Native Indians, thanks to Christianity, thanks to slavery and the cruelty of our oppressor, we are the only people who believe the moment I'm successful is when I'm in the suburbs away from my people. My children are only successful when they go to school with the people who oppressed us for 400 years. Imagine that can come. Your resources are controlled by the people who lynched your forefathers. Your resources are controlled by the people who enslaved your foremothers, who raped your grandmother, who enslaved and raped your forefather, who destroyed your family, who put crack in your community, and who made you eat pork, who told you better eat that pork or I'm going to give you 50 lashes. They taught us how to be ungodly. And this is the people who we're better off with, thanks to Christianity. There is no other race of people who will believe. You give me any group. You give me the Palestinians. There is no Palestinian who says, well, we'll be better off if we just live amongst the Israelis. There is no rich and famous Palestinian that believes I'm going to be more successful if I leave my Palestinian brothers and sisters and go and join Benjamin Netanyahu. That doesn't exist. There is no give me another one could come. There is no African from the Hutsis that believe that if they leave the Hutsis and go join the Tutsis, that they will be better off. There is no Eritrean that believes that Somalia, being amongst the Somalian enemies, are better than being amongst their Eritrean brothers and sisters. In North Somalia, they're having a civil war with Southern Somalia. There is no Southern Somalian that believes the Northern Somalians are better. There is no Ukrainian that believes, well, if Vladimir Zelensky, if I join Vladimir Putin, then I'll be more successful. I'm going to leave my Ukrainian brothers and sisters and go join my Russian enemies. Blacks and Hispanics are the only people who believe that. And you want to know why? Read it from the top again, Kakam Gabar.
Khan, and when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do?
Because we're spoiled. We're spoiled through Christianity. We're spoiled through God loves everybody. Vote or die. We all bleed red. Rainbow Coalition. It's my body it's my body. I'll do what I want with my body. Liberties and freedoms that your oppressor have given you that are not from God, those ideologies have ruined us. It spoiled us. It spoiled us. Not believing in our culture, not having our culture, not believing in our God, believing in our laws, statutes, and commandments, not believing in the truth, being stripped away from your pride and your dignity, stripped away from the dignity it came with being a black man, a Hispanic, and Native Indian. There was a pride and dignity. And hold your head up, brother. You remember that spirit that brothers used to have in the 60s? We got to fight the man. There was a spirit amongst black men who developed the DAP. You ever see that video of brothers that come from Vietnam? Brothers in Vietnam, GIs, black GIs that went to war for this filthy, disgusting country in the 1960s that fought the Vietnamese. They invented the DAP. They invented that. It stands for discipline and pride. Black Army soldiers that fought in Vietnam invented that. They had soul. I'm black and I'm proud. Aren't I a woman? These are things how we used to feel, how we used to be. Whitey is on the moon. A rat didn't bit my sister nail, but Whitey is on the moon. There was a level of soul and pride that we had. Brother said, man, listen, I may sell dope, but I'm not selling dope to pregnant women. I'm not selling dope to. There were codes, ethics, rules. You don't do this in front of a church. You don't do this in front of the elderly. There was soul, there was spirit we had. That's the spirit that needs to come back. You know what happened to that spirit? That spirit, we got to fight the man. We got to get the man's foot off of our neck. Black exploitation films, Boss Nigger, Superfly, do it. Let's do it again. Uptown Saturday Night. An era of black people who stuck together. We got to fight the man. We got to come against the man. We got to protest the Vietnam War like Muhammad Ali. You once had black celebrities who protested with you, who stood toe-to-toe with the Ku Klux Klan, who joined armed in arm with Malcolm X, who joined armed in arm with Dr. King. I'm not saying that Dr. King and Malcolm X were in the truth. I'm not saying what they did or what they preached was right, but this is what I will say about Dr. King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, and other blackity black, Black Panther Party. They had a spirit on them to want to help and free their people because the detriment of slavery and of Jim Crow was too much to bear. So they said, we got to do something. Were they ignorant and not in the truth? Yeah. But did they do the best they could? Yes. Malcolm X did the best he could. Dr. King did the best he could with what he knew and what they had. These were men born a generation after slavery. Medgar Evers in Mississippi, born a generation after slavery. What in the hell were they supposed to do? Sit there and do nothing like you do and play video games? Do you know why we don't have that spirit anymore, Kakam? You want to know why we aren't aware of oppression anymore? Because we've been spoiled. We've been spoiled by the Christian church and our terrible black leaders. We've been spoiled. We've been ruined. Rainbow Coalition, Jesse Jackson. We all bleed red. That's the spirit we have now. Well, all white people aren't bad. How the hell did we go from let's get the man's foot off our neck, brother man? Brother man. I got something what's the mathematics for today, brother? That spirit of soul that black people had. You look good today, sis. Man, you look good. Marrying black women, making 15 kids, 12 kids, 22 black children. The Hispanics coming over here with the brown berets that joined in arms with the Black Panthers and the Black Berets. We had unity and soul and a spirit to fight against oppression. There's a good video out that's viral on social media of it was a panel in 1968 after Dr. King was killed, 68 or 69. And there were young black men, young black boys who were talking to older black people who were Christians from the South and the North who believed of Dr. King's way. And the young black people did not believe in Dr. King's way. They believed in the old way. You understand? The biblical way. He said, if you can find this video in the clip I'm referring to, it will be so glorious, because it just goes to show the spirit that a 14-year-old black boy had in 1969, where he watched his father and uncles get lynched. You know what black men witnessed in the 60s, don't you? You know, in the 60s, black men still had to walk off the sidewalk and avert their eyes whenever they saw a white man. Like, they couldn't look. My uncles and my father, when they grew up, they couldn't look a white man in the eyes. I'm telling you what my uncle told me. One of my uncles, who was born in the 40s, he said whenever we would walk downtown with mama, we would have to go, or with Hot Rod, who was their father's nickname. Whenever we would have to walk downtown and we seen a white man coming, we saw a white woman coming, we would have to step off of the sidewalk, so that they could keep walking, and we just walk in the dirt in the street.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the 50s, in the 60s. I'm not even a generation removed from that. That was my parents' generation. Do you understand? My father had to live through that. You understand? I'm not removed from that. I could just go call up my father and ask him, how was it? I could call up my uncle, his brother, and say, how was it? I don't have to go and research historical slavery documents to see how black people were treated. My father and mother and aunts and uncles had to endure that. Do you understand? They couldn't look a white man in the eyes. It was considered reckless eyeballing.
Right.
Their parents were afraid of what may happen to them because of boys like Emmett Till.
Mm-hmm.
Of what would happen if I looked this white man in the eyes. What happened how do we go from we are fighting against the man to now you don't care who, you don't give a damn about anything that has to happen to your people. Anything that happens to your people, like, you don't care about. You care more about pleasure, and you care more about video games, which gives you pleasure. You care about pleasure. You don't care about anything other than that. How do we go from trying to fight against oppression to now only caring about where is the newest, latest drug? Where is the newest whore? Where is the newest, what's the black wealth? Now that's what they chasing after, could come black wealth. You've been spoiled, black people. You've been spoiled. That's what's happened to you. Thanks to Christianity. Thanks to the damn philosophies of this world. You've been spoiled. Keep going, Kakam.
Khan, this is Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 30. And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou closest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair.
Read that last part again. In
vain shalt thou make thyself fair.
In what?
In vain.
In what?
In vain.
Though you chop your nigga nose off like Michael Jackson when you get money, though you lighten up your skin like Serena and Venus Williams, though you put on makeup to make yourself look white and get all these surgeries like Vivica A. Fox and Michael Jackson and Prince and Sammy Sosa and Little Kim and Glorilla and Megan Thee Stallion, trying to take the nigga nose off of you. Your nigga features, your Latino features, your big lips, and your big broad nose that you used to be proud of. You used to be proud of that big broad nose and that black skin and those big lips. You used to be proud of that nappy head. That's good hair, that nappy head. Now niggas like Patrick Mahomes say, I don't know how the hell y'all let me have this nappy shit on my head this long. Now your children aren't proud to be black. Now they hate being black. Though you deckest yourself, you deckest thyself with ornaments of gold, which means what? You got on crimson and gold, which means you got on all this damn makeup to make yourself look white, like Serena Williams. You go and marry white women and marry white men, thinking that's going to save you, thinking that's going to help you, thinking that's going to make you successful. Read it again. In vain. Read that part again.
The end of verse 4. In vain shalt thou make thyself fair.
In vain. What does that mean? Meaning it's all for nothing. All of that trying to chop, Michael Jackson chopped his whole, he He damn botched his entire look. I mean, everything. So much so that by the time he died, you wouldn't even be able to recognize him from the child, Michael Jackson, the child. That's why they say the light Mike or the brown or the dark Mike, the white Mike or the black Mike. Because Michael Jackson just did everything to look like a white woman. I mean, he wanted to be a white woman. He chopped everything off. His nose, had all these surgeries. All of the Jacksons did that. You see all that success they had. He is the greatest entertainer of all time. There is no entertainer that could ever put a flame to Michael Jackson. He had been performing since he was 6. He took the world by storm at 5 and 6 years old. He made a song about a rat and made you love the damn rat then. There is no entertainer greater than that boy Michael Jackson. And even that wasn't enough. So imagine that you want to be successful. Imagine having the life and the money of Michael Jackson, who was loved by everybody. That still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough. You know why? Because we've been spoiled. That's why. We've been spoiled, Doc.
Right.
So you being the best entertainer that ever lived still is not enough. You know what you have to do? You have to, and he said that his kids became Edomites. Listen, that nigga became an Edomite. Doc. Michael Jackson damn near became an Edomite. All because he hated himself because he had been spoiled. Just like Glorilla, just like Prince, just like Sammy Sosa and Serena Williams, Terrence Howard, and Kanye West. All of that does nothing for the way white people are going to treat you. How do I know? Because it's in the next verse. Keep going.
Khan. Thy lovers will despise thee.
Whoa. Say that again.
Thy lovers will despise thee. Thy lovers.
The white man.
Thy lovers.
Your oppressor.
Thy lovers.
The Republican Party.
Thy lovers.
Let me tell you something about Candace Owens. I know y'all know who Candace Owens is. Right? Candace Owens and Officer Tatum, all of these black people who are Republican and who are MAGA and who love Trump. Do you know something that happened with this second election of Trump? With Trump being the president this time, his second term? White people who are MAGA, white people who are Republican, white people who love Trump, they don't accept them anymore. They don't accept them anymore. Brother, I watched a video yesterday of Charlie Kirk's widow responding to Candace Owens. Candace Owens said she didn't want Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, to be the new leader of whatever that organization is, Turning Point USA, that her late husband, Charlie Kirk, was the founder of. She said she didn't want her to be. Brother Charlie Kirk's wife, widow, Erica Kirk, responded. White men are up in arms, Doc. They are absolutely for Erica Kirk and against Candace Owens. White people hate Candace. And when I say white people, I don't mean liberal white people. No. I mean the same white people who Candace Owens placated to for so long. All of the Officer Tatum, none of those niggas were invited to Charlie Kirk's memorial. None of them. Right. And they were all responding to the fact that they weren't even invited to Charlie Kirk's memorial. They all were uninvited to his memorial after they sucked his penis for all of those years. Filleted Donald Trump's rod, kissed the white man's ass, kissed his rod for all that time, and the white man said, F you. All of that hate that you gave black people, you got to pull your pants up. Black people, there's something wrong with black culture. Tim Scott and Candace Owens and Officer Tatum and Ben Carson. All of that white ass kissing they were doing for the last 6 years. And now white people whose ass they kissed said, F you. They gave them the biggest F you. Now they want to start to try to come back to being black people. You don't even seen Ben Carson.
Right.
Where has Ben Carson could come? You haven't even seen him. After Donald Trump dropped him like a bad habit. Thy lovers will despise you. You think white people love you because you think white people hate you because you aren't white, because you don't have white skin, because you don't have on nice clothes? You think white people hate you because you don't wear suit and ties? Is that what Candace Owens and Officer Tatum thinks? Ben Carson? They think that white people hate you because you sag your pants. Does anybody know what Donald Trump was wearing when white people assassinated him? I think he was wearing a suit and tie.
Right.
I think Donald Trump never sagged his. I mean, Donald Trump. I think Dr. King, they both love whores. I think Dr. King, I don't think he ever sagged his pants.
Right.
I think Dr. King always wore a suit and tie. He was a PhD scholar and an eloquent speaker. And he was still killed and hated by white people. You don't know the beast that you're dealing with thinking that white people hate you because you don't wear ties and suits and because you sag your pants and because you're uneducated. That's not why white people hate you. But that's what Candace Owens told you. That's what Officer Tatum told you. That's what Ben Carson told you. And because of that, you know what Michael Jackson did? He made himself light. He tried to be a white woman. He made himself to be like a white woman. He made his hair to be like a white woman. He made his skin to be white. He wanted to be a white woman. And they still hated Michael Jackson. They still hated him. They still said he's a child molesting pedophile, pedophile. They still said that. After he made himself white, they still had those white kids, the parents tell the white kids, say he slept with you. Say he touched you. Say he touched you. I can't say anything else for the sake of this class. Say he touched you. White people still hated Michael Jackson, huh? They still hated him. Do you understand that it's something more we're going to get into here in 2 minutes to white people than the fact that you sag your pants or you don't speak as good as they do? Do you think that's why white people hate you, because you sag your pants and don't wear suit and ties? Are you out of your effing mind? White people hate you because they have a perpetual hatred for the children of Israel. That's why.
Right.
Africans have dark skin too. It's not because you're the color of your skin. It's because you're the chosen people of God.
That's right.
That's why white people hate you. That's why the Arabs hate you, and the Africans hate you, and the East Indians hate you, and the Asians hate you. That's why the world hates you, black man, because not because you have dark skin. Everybody's got dark skin except for Donald Trump. Everybody. And because of the color of your skin, you're a dummy that believe in what white people and black Republicans told you. Because you wear saggy pants and you go to prison. That's not the reason why white people hate you. They hated you when you were on the plantation picking cotton, working for free to make their pockets richer. They still hated you then. Talking about sagging your pants and because you're in jail. There were no black people in jail in slavery. We were all slaves.
Right.
And white people still hated you. What are you talking about? It's not because you are in jail or because you commit crimes or because you're uneducated or because you don't wear suit and ties. It's because you are the greatest thing this world has ever seen. It's because you are the chosen people of God. That's why. And you can try to make yourself white like Sammy Sosa and Lil' Kim. You can chop that nigga nose off like Michael Jackson. And guess what could come? White people are still going to hate you. You can kiss their ass like Candace Owens and Officer Tatum, and they're still going to hate you. Stop trying to seek love from your enemies and seek love from your God and seek love from your people. You can drop that. You have something to say?
Yeah, if I could, what you bringing out is heavy. I just want to bring out a precept that pretty much goes along with that. And like you said, like, you know, we used to have that spirit with, you know, where we black power with the fist, with the fro, you know what I mean? Like, and even like, for example, like the so-called Nation of Islam, they'll try to wear their hair slicked back, shave their beards, wear the tight suits, you know what I'm saying? And everybody would try to do everything to appease to our oppressor just so we could fit in, do everything right. You know what I mean? Even like we was talking about Terrence Crawford, you know, he did everything he could, you know what I'm saying, play by the book, go to be the best boxer in the world. And guess what? The devil's still going to treat you like a second-class citizen. You know what I mean? even here in Iowa, we had the what was it, the Des Moines Public School superintendent or whatever. You know, he would wear the tightest suits, did all his accolades and everything, and guess what? You still get deported and lose your job. You know what I mean? But we're gonna stay in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2,
Right.
and verse 33. And it goes right along with what you was bringing out. And it says, why trimmest thou ways to seek love? So, you know, why, yeah, like you said, you want to make your skin white, you want to make your hair straight, you know, you want to wear the tightest suits, you know, you like you said, Martin Luther King, he didn't sag, he didn't wear baggy clothes,
Right.
you know what I mean? He did everything that a model Negro would do. They
Right.
say that you would do. He had all the PhDs and the scholarships, but guess what? That's still not enough for the so-called devil. You know what I mean? Because
So Lockie could come. Keep going. I'll be right back. I keep dropping it heavy. You got
kind of come. And so that's still not enough. You know what I mean? It don't matter what you do. That's why, like it says in Jeremiah 2:33, why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? See, we don't need to trim our ways. We need to stay who we are. We need to keep our culture. We don't need to lose our culture just to fit in with the other nations. We don't need to claim that we African and now we're going back to African spirituality. That was never our culture from the beginning. You know what I mean? We don't need to, what's coming up next, celebrate Christmas. You know what I mean? Put a Christmas tree in your house because Karen and them do the same thing. You know, we need to stay with our culture. You know what I mean? Reading on, therefore has thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. See, we done taught the wicked ones our ways, and what's the ways that we taught them was the ways of the wicked, trying to be like the so-called white man. We trimmed our ways to be like these other nations.
damn right.
I yield.
Damn right. Get that brother a hand. That was heavy.
Yeah.
Damn right. Listen, what he's saying is the truth, right? Could come telling the truth on you, blackity black leaders and blackity black nigga, all that blackity black. I'm so blackity black. All that shit. Excuse my language, brother. What Jesus said was so heavy. All you want to be is white. Okay, that's why you want to go and chase all that. If I see another black person talk about black wealth, I'm going to scream. You understand that? Shalom, mighty man. Yahweh Shem Shukatah. If I see another black person talk about black wealth, I'm going to scream. I'm going to rip all of my damn hair out of my head, brother.
Right.
Black wealth. What is all this black wealth? All of that talk about black wealth could come as another, just like you said, it's you just want to be white people. That's all. Because how did black people make wealth? How did black people get wealthy? You think they did it through hard work and LLCs? You think white people got wealthy through LLCs and hard work? Is that how you think that Donald Trump made billions of dollars? Is that how? Is that the way that Bank of America and Chase and Carnegie Steel and who's the other one? Henry Ford. Is that the way that they made their money out? Is through LLCs and good, honest business dealings? Or did they make their money off the backs of slaves? If you want to truly be like the white man and have all these wealth, all the riches and wealth and glory and power, you know what's got to happen, right? Could come. You have to enslave white people. White people have to be your slave. And then you can benefit off of their free labor the way white people have benefited off of our free labor to make billionaires and trillionaires. How do you think Elon Musk is about to be the world's first trillionaire? You think he did it through hard work and going to college and LLCs and being an honest businessman? His father enslaved Africans to mine cobalt and gave him $1 billion loan to start that stupid Tesla company with those stupid cars that's going to break down on you. All electric vehicles that's going to break down and blow the hell up. He did that because he got $1 billion loan from a father who's a slave master in South Africa. You think you're gonna make black wealth? You think you're gonna be Jay-Z? Jay-Z had to do a lot of ass kissing and filleting white men in order to make $1 billion. You understand that? Now, if you have no dignity, if you have no, no truth about yourself, and you want to go do anything to make money, you'll be successful in this life. But if you're someone with dignity, with integrity, with honor, that has a code of conduct, you're not going to make $1 billion. And you shouldn't try to make $1 billion. What you should try to do in these last days is to join your brothers and your sisters in the ISUPK and teach morality to your people. Show your people how to have wealth and morality. You know what I am richer in than any other rich white man or any rich black person like Jay-Z or Beyonce? I have more morals than they do. Because I could never sell black people out the way Jay-Z has. I could never do something like that.
Right.
Could you imagine Tim Knowles, Beyonce's father? He put his 13-year-old daughter in a bikini so the world can lust after his 13-year-old daughter so she can be Beyonce. Do you think I would be anything like them? Do you think this brother here could come and put his daughter in a bikini at 13? Do you think he will put his daughter in a bikini at 34 so that his daughter can be the greatest entertainer, female entertainer that ever lived? We will never do anything like that. You see, you may not ever be able to reach $1 billion, which I don't know why you would want that anyway. $1 billion so you can do what? Become P. Diddy?
Right.
You may never be able to reach $1 billion, but you know what you can strive and achieve and be better at white people and rich black people? You could absolutely have more morality than them. You could have better, you could conduct yourself better than they do. You could have more integrity than them simply by obeying the laws of God. You don't have to be like your oppressor. You don't have to envy their ways. You don't have to be like them. You don't have to live like them. You don't have to have their God. You don't have to celebrate his Christmas. You don't even have to speak his language. You can give all of it back and come into the UPK. Learn your language, Hebrew. Learn your God. Follow his authority and be amongst your people and have way more morals than him. Have better integrity than he does. You had something you wanted to say, Kakam?
No, I lied. No, I was just saying, right? I mean, if anything, definitely, like it says in Deuteronomy, these laws, statutes, and commandments is the wisdom that's in front of the sight of the nations. That's what shows our wisdom. That's what sets us apart. You know, when we come together underneath the Most High God and follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, the nations will see that.
Damn right.
You know, they'll say this is a wise and understanding people.
Damn right. Hit it, brother. Yeah, brother. And that's what the laws do for us. It makes us the salt of the earth. Not because that's another thing could come. Don't ever make the mistake of a young, unlearned officer in saying we're the salt of the earth because we jump the highest and run the fastest. You are LeBron James because white people want you to be LeBron James. That's why you run the fastest and jump the highest. This is what being the salt of the earth really is. It's the scripture you just pulled. It's our adherence to the laws of God. There is no one else that would even offer that as the covenant with the Most High. We are the only people who have that covenant with God. We're the only people who have that covenant with the Most High God of having his law, his statutes, his commandments. There is no other race of people who was even offered that. We are the chosen people of God. We have wisdom, the wisdom of the Lord, that no other race of people has. We have the wisdom on what to eat and what not to eat, what to do with your penis and what not to do with your private part. We know what you should put your money into, what you should not put your money into. We are the salt of the earth because of the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, not because of our physical ability, not because we sing the best, although we are the best in entertainment, although we are the best in athletics. That doesn't mean that you are the salt of the earth. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever live. So is he the salt of the earth because he's so great athletically? No, we are the salt of the earth, not because of our physical ability, not because Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston has the greatest voices, brother. Ooh. Is because we are the chosen people of God. We were given something no one else was, and that's the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. That's why we're the salt of the earth. And we're supposed to use that to rule the nations, not be ruled by them. We have to turn back to the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, brothers and sisters. I wanted to shout this sister out. Shalom, Sister Mana Aima, Yahweh Shema, Tabashim Shah. Sis always checking in every week. It's good to see you, sis. Most High in Christ. How you feel? How you doing? Sister Mana Aima, how you doing, sis? It's always good to see the brothers and sisters, the weekly brothers and sisters that are checking in and getting the knowledge from the Lord. They want to learn something. They don't want to be like Beyonce and have low morals. They don't want to just put a bikini on their daughter at 13 to make money. They want to come in here to learn the truth of God to save their life and the life of their posterity. And that is so noble, especially in the last days. In these last days where men will become lovers of themselves more than God, it's a beautiful thing to see brothers and sisters coming into these classes. So Most High in Christ, give yourselves a hand. Right. Now we can get into tonight's topic. Now we can go into it. Are there any good white people? Let me ask the chat before you pull out videos and scriptures and the articles I sent you. Let me ask the chat. Answer in the chat room. Brothers and sisters, are there any good white people? If there are good white people, you say yes. If there aren't any good white people, I want you to say no. It's your opinion. I'm not here to persuade you one way or the other. But are there any good white people? Yes or no? We'll give them two seconds I can answer. I know there's a delay while we're live. So we're going to give them 2 seconds to answer. Are there any good white people? So, like it, what's Shalom Nahar telling you? Ask Sharia about her. Is there any good white people? Does she think they're good white people? Yes or no? What's Sister Shalom saying?
Salaki, sir. I just forgot the name, but I think I was in a class and I heard that the only good white person was that one about what was abolished back in the day. John. Oh, who was that?
Yeah, we was talking about. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Matter of fact,
look, the sister. Here's Sister Shalom. She didn't spoil tonight's class because she didn't got y'all good, man. She over there telling the truth on y'all, Bar. That sister learned something.
No, we talked about it last week.
That sister is smart and wise as all get out. You need to be more like
damn right.
If you're a sister in the UPK. The sister is sweet and wise and nice as can be and one West as can be. And she learns. She don't just sit there and give her husband hell all day. She learns from the men in the UPK. She learns. You ask that sister a question, she gonna say Salaki, but I heard in class, I researched and studied this. She's a smart sister. She's a wonderful sister to be around. That's a great sister in the UPK. Sister Shalom.
That's right.
Give the sister another hand.
Yeah.
The real officer Bar. You understand? Got him a jewel over there, down there in Des Moines, Iowa. Yes, sis. Yes, there are good white people, right? We're going to get into who's good and who's not, right? The sister, and damn, she teaching the whole class. Damn, that's good, sis. Yeah. And his name is John Brown, and we're going to get into him later. We're going to go over his everything that he did later. We got a whole class. Tonight is dedicated not to John Brown, but it's just to dedicate to show that there are good white people out there. I got a lot of eyes in the chat. I got a lot of no's. Listen, brothers and sisters, contrary to, well, I guess it ain't contrary because so many of our people in the world believe that there are good white people. And guess what? They aren't wrong. They aren't wrong. Here's what they are wrong about. Who is good and who's not good. A lot of times, black people like Kevin Gates thinks that someone who bailed him out of jail, a white lawyer who simply does their job. This is what always. This is it makes my jaw tight. I clench my jaw every time I hear some nigga, some nut, some black nut like Kevin Gates. This nigga, he believes that white people are good that do their job. That always baffles me. Right. Black people think that white people are good when they do their job correctly. He had some white lawyers that got him lesser charges. And because you're a criminal, which you should not be, some white lawyer does his job and defends you, and that makes him a good white person. So what was your defense lawyer supposed to do? Throw you at the mercy of the court? Like, I'm not understanding. Why do black people, whenever we say, well, this is a good white man, this is a good white person, it's a white person who does what the hell that any human being are supposed to do. You know what that tells me could come? White people are so terrible. White people are so diabolical and so cruel that when white people simply are kind, they're considered good.
Right.
When white people aren't raping and murdering anybody, when they're just existing and they're doing what any human being is supposed to do, which is be kind and civil, they're considered good white people. That just goes to show how terrible white people really are. Like, black people prove that there are low amounts of good white people when they say, oh, you know, this is a good white person. She was my lawyer. And she took on she didn't charge me any money. You know what that's called? It's called pro bono cases, you nut, you dummy. She didn't charge you money because it's her job not to charge you money. She took on what's called a pro bono case, which means they do it for free. They don't charge you anything. This white girl, she didn't charge me no money when I was facing a drug charge, and she got me lesser time. She got me probation. You do know what you're saying, right? You're saying that this white lawyer did her job,
Right.
and because she did her job correctly, she's a good white woman. That means that there are terrible white people. I mean, that means that there is low amounts of good white people out there. That's what that means. If your argument is become that there are good white people out there because they simply are civil and kind and are doing their job like everybody else, that makes them good. That means they're terrible. That means that they're terrible. Go ahead, Kakon.
If I could, I got one. Because since we so spoiled, like even with the Donald Trump being the devil that he is, you have black people thinking that, well, maybe he ain't that bad after all, just because he thought about pardoning or whatever it was, Larry Hoover, or who else did he pardon? Didn't he pardon
Larry
Lil
Hoover,
Wayne?
Lil Wayne,
No,
NBA Young Boy, shit.
Yeah.
Every black rapper and every black criminal that should be in prison, he pardoned.
Right. And so now all of a sudden, well, he might not be that bad after all. You know, he gave us $2,000, or how he might give us $2,000. Then he did give us $1,200. Or you know, a gift destroys the heart. You know what I mean? Yes, I yield on that.
Listen, give that officer a hand.
Yeah.
That is the absolute truth. That's being spoiled, Kakon. That's biblically what that is. That's being spoiled. Donald Trump gave you a $2,000 stimulus check, which should have been yours anyway, and he's not that bad. You know what else black men used to defend Donald Trump this election cycle last November, when they said that more black men voted for him than the last time? Because he pardoned more black men than Barack Obama. So he was niggas' God because he pardoned niggas who should have been locked away anyway. You do know your uncle is a criminal who deserves to be in prison.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think black people quite understand that when somebody commits a crime, like, they're supposed to be in jail. I don't think that you know that or not. I know you want your cousin Bobo, who shot up everybody, to be free, but he don't need to be free. Bobo and Jamal and Kareem, they don't need to be free. Let them niggas stay in prison where they can receive the help they truly need and they can serve the punishment that they deserve. Donald Trump freeing black men from prison is the reason why you voted for him. Brother, that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to pardon people who he can look at and say, he looked like he served his time. He needs to get on out of there. He's just wasting his life in there. He did his time. It's time for him to get out of there. That's what anybody that is good or righteous, anybody who has a heart, who has compassion, that's what they would do. Are you telling me that Donald Trump isn't the devil because he did his job?
Right.
Are you telling me that white lawyer who got you less time isn't the devil because they did their job? Well, goddamn, could come Gabar. It must be easy to be white.
Right.
Black people, your slaves, forget all about the atrocities you committed against them simply because you did your job. It's like a quote I heard Jim Brown say. He said, if I'm your dog, should I be happy that you didn't kick me today?
Right.
If you kick me 360 days out of the year, but you don't kick me 5 days out of the year, are you a good dog owner?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't kick me today, so should I now be thankful for your service? Should I be thankful that you're my owner because you didn't beat me and abuse me and bash my brains in today? That's Stockholm Syndrome. And that's what we suffer from. That's why when you ask black people in the world, are there good white people? They're going to say what? Yeah, absolutely. And then they're going to start talking about how how black people are so bad. That's the next point. Well, yeah, there are good white people, and black people got to stop doing this, and black people got to stop doing that. That's their next trope.
Mm-hmm.
That's because we have Stockholm Syndrome, because we've been kicked 363 days out of the year.
Right.
White man don't kick you. He don't kick the dog 2 days out the year. What are those 2 days? 4th of July and Christmas. On 4th of July and Christmas, he don't kick you those days. Christmas is Jesus' birthday. 4th of July is the birthday of America. So the white man is lenient. He don't kick you on the 4th of July and Christmas can come. But every other day out the year, he's going to beat that dog. You understand? You understand that analogy and that metaphor? He's going to beat that dog 363 days out of the year. 2 days out of the year, he won't kick you. Does that make that owner a good pet owner? Because he didn't beat the dog 2 days out of the year? Are you going to now say, well, he did free some of my people. He did free more black men than Barack Obama. I don't give a F if Donald Trump raised my father from the grave. He's still the devil the Bible speaks of. And whatever white people give you, they owe it to you anyway. Donald Trump can free every nigga out of prison, in all prisons across the United States of America. He's still the devil the Bible speaks of. I don't give a damn if Donald Trump gave every black person $100 billion. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's our problem, is we're spoiled. We're spoiled. And because we're spoiled, what wilt thou do? You deckest thy face with ornaments of gold, thy lovers despise thee. Donald Trump freed those black men, and he still hates those black men. That's all you need to know. Donald Trump gave you $2,000, and he still hates Hispanics and Native Indians. He still hates you. That's what you don't understand about white people in politics. White people are going to give you less time in prison, and you're going to have a white lawyer who's going to fight their ass off to give you less time in prison, but that white lawyer still hates your people.
Right.
All they're doing is their job. That doesn't make them good. We're going to talk about what does make white people good in just a minute. If I may, do you have this brother's information? A warrior, the husband of that sister, Nichelle Taylor, in the chat. Do you have his information in Omaha? Because he wants to get one class. Send him this class. Make sure, let the brother know. So warrior, make sure he's in all. Is he a trooper or an officer?
He's an officer.
Okay, so he don't have to be in all black. Okay, no sweat. All right, well, just send him the class. All right, send him the class. Baba Kushah for water. And while you're doing that, the young man said, no, it's funny how they are the main ones preaching love and love everybody. Yeah, we've been spoiled, brother. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have been spoiled. There are good white people, but the ISUPK is going to tell you who is good and who's not good. You understand? We're going to tell you who's a good white person. We're doing that right now. Now we're going to show you who white people are. This is what I need black people to understand. Before we can define a good white person, I need you to understand who they are. Okay, I need you to understand their nature, their tendencies, who they are. All right, you know how blacks and Hispanics are kind, Native Indians are kind, we're hospitable, We're not cruel. It's not our nature to be cruel. We're not cruel. We're not evil. We're not terrible people. I need you to understand that white people, our oppressor, he's the exact opposite of us. Okay? He is cruel. He is unkind. He's not hospitable.
Right.
That's the reason why he's kicking all of the guests out of his home. He's kicking all the Latinos out of America. America is the white man's home. And his guests are treated terribly. Not in Israel. You understand? Lot, the nephew of Abraham, when angels came to his doorstep and those sodomites in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah wanted to have sex with them, he offered those sodomites his daughters who had never been with a man. You know why? Because the guests in your home are your responsibility to take care of. We are hospitable. White people are not. Mexican and Latino immigrants come over here to seek a better life for themselves. And you know what white people do? They want them out of the country. They kick them out. They rip apart their families. They strip them from their families and throw them in cages on the border of Mexico and Texas, in El Paso somewhere. That's what our oppressor does. He's not hospitable. So all that Southern hospitality, that comes from black slaves. They don't come from white people. White people are not hospitable at all. They're not hospitable. They're not considerate. They're not empathetic. They're not sympathetic. White people are cruel. That is their nature. We're going to show you. We're going to prove to you what I just said. First, give me the scripture, Kakon.
So, like, which one?
Give me Esau. Give me Esau. The Genesis, I believe I sent you. Hold on.
25.
Yes, give me Genesis 25 and 32. And then after that, give me Psalms 58 and 3. So give me Genesis, what did I say, 25 and 32. Give me Psalms. All right.
Yeah, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die.
Read maybe a verse above that.
Verse 31. Well, I mean, I could start at 30.
Go ahead. Wherever you think is apropos to what we're talking about in class, you go ahead.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Verse 31.
So here we go, right? Just to give you a backstory for time's sake. There was a man in the Bible named Esau or Edom or Idumea, Adawam in the Hebrew, which means red from the pottage that he ate. Right? He was a red man, just like he is the father of white people. He was red all over like a hairy garment at birth. The Bible did not describe Jacob because he looked like everybody else, which was not red all over. He had color. Right? Jacob is the father, the progenitor of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's our forefather. If you're so-called white, you're European, so-called European, white European, because the original Europeans were not white. The original Europeans were Japhethites. All right, the Polynesians and the Hawaiians, those were the original Europeans. The white man, the devil, the man, he kicked them out of the countries of Europe, Spain and France. He kicked them out, right? Mm-hmm. And now he calls himself the European. He really descends from the caves of Georgia, Russia, Mount Seir, the mountains. That's where he always lived. He's a mountain man. He loved to go hunting outdoors. That's the white man. That's Esau, right? He just came in. I'm giving you a backdrop on the story, right? He just came in the house from hunting. He saw his brother Jacob cooking this pottage, this soup, right, full of meat. And he was about to faint because he was so tired from being outside. Now read it again, Kakam. Oh, just also so you know, for this story's sake, Esau, because the Bible says that Sarah, Jacob and Esau's mom, I'm sorry, not Sarah. Who was their mother? Rachel?
Rebecca.
Thawada. Rebecca was Jacob and Esau's mom. Who was their not Abraham, Isaac. Isaac was their father. So there was Jacob and Esau. They had a father, Isaac, the son of Abraham, and Rebecca was their mother, right? The Bible says that Jacob was a mama's boy, meaning Rebecca favored him, right? She loved her baby boy, Jacob. She didn't care so much about Esau, though, right? She saw the kind of animal he was. She saw it. Mothers can see this boy here something ain't right with him. But guess who did prefer Esau? Isaac did. Isaac, and the reason he preferred Esau was because his venison was so good. He could hunt 12-point bucks. I got venison. I got some good deer this year in the freezer right now. Because I got some good ones out here in Missouri. We got some good 12-point bucks, 6-point bucks. Them little ones are good for young boys to start off with hunting. Them little small. Yeah, it's your choice as a father. You want them going out and getting an elk. You want to hunt the big boys first. That's on you. I'm just telling you, here in Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, we have good game, right? And Esau, he was a cunning hunter. It's what he's skilled at. He's good at murdering and killing. He's good at that. He's not so good at hospitality. He is amazing at murdering and killing. That's his gift. Right. It's his gift, right? Because of that, he can hunt a good buck. He can get you a good 12-pointer. Do you understand? He can get you some good elk. He can get you a good what do they call that? A good ram, one of those mountain rams. He can get you a good one. And he gave it to his father Isaac. And Isaac loved those big 12-pointers. It's like having an athletic son that can dunk in sixth grade. You got a son that looks like the prodigy of Michael Jordan, and then you have a son who's a nerd. Most men are gonna favor the boy who's athletic because it's very masculine to be outdoorsmen and to hunt and to be able to do 200 push-ups and bench 500 pounds. It's masculine. And because it's masculine, Salakia could come. Don't share it in the chat. Send it to that brother. Yes, send it to that brother. Because then you have 15, 25 people in the class and it can't hold that many people. All right, so 10 people, I believe. So send it to him directly and take.
Yeah, I sent it to him, but I don't know. Maybe he ain't.
Yeah, he's coming in right now. He's coming in right now. But take those comments. You don't have to take them down. That's fine. You don't have to take them down. Before I bring them on, let me finish my point. So, like what I was saying was, it's like having an athletic son and then having a son who's a nerd. A man is going to favor that boy who's athletic, who's masculine, right? That was Isaac. He saw Jacob he loved. And Jacob stayed in the house, though. He was a homebody, like most Judites are. He's just a brother that just likes to chill at the home with the woman. That's brothers, not white men. They don't want to be anything around women. They don't want to be anywhere around women unless they're raping them. They want to murder and kill and steal. That's white men. So Isaac loved the fact that he hunted like a man and that he was masculine. He loved that. Not saying Jacob wasn't masculine, but Esau hunted and he loved the venison that Esau would hunt for him. Let me bring this along. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Shalom, mighty man.
Hey, shalom. What's going on?
Shalom, Lord in Christ.
What's going on?
How about Shem? Shalom, how about Shem? How Shaparakia?
Barakatha.
Oh, Christ. Oh,
a warrior. It's a warrior, right?
It's nothing, fellas.
Salaki, can you hear me out?
Kind of on concert.
Okay, your name is a warrior, right?
Kind of on concert.
Okay, it's Barakatha. When you're saluting another brother, it's Barakatha, which means when you're saluting the Torah, it's Barak Yah, which means bless me. You're asking the Lord to bless you. You understand?
Kind of on concert.
Okay, put your phone. You was about to say something, Mike? You wanted something to say? You had something you wanted to say?
Sir.
Okay, no sweat. Well, put your phone on mute. All right, put your phone on mute until you have a question. Unless you have a question or a comment, put your phone on mute. All right. So Esau was loved by Isaac, and because of that, he at this point received the birthright, which means the covenant, the inheritance of being black or Hispanic. Isaac was going to give it to Esau. Do you understand? He was going to give it to Esau because of his venison, because of how good he hunted, how well he hunted. All right, keep reading, Cucumber Bar.
Khan, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 30, 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day that thy birthright. Verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die.
Read that again.
And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die.
Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. Jacob, remember, was cunning. He's black. He's the father of us. He's Yahweh. He knew how to supplant. He said, listen, nigga, you hungry? Give me that birthright that our father gonna give you. If you give me that, I'll give you some of this pottage so you don't faint. And Esau said, behold, I'm at my wit's end. I'm about to keel over and give up the ghost if I don't eat that soup that you're making. Keep going.
Khan. And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
Read that part again.
And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
Read it one more time, Kukum.
And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
Esau said, listen, I'm already about to die. I need this food. I need this red pottage, this soup. So guess what? I'm going to give you my birthright. Why? Because what is it good? What is it good for right now? How is this going to save me and fulfill the thing I need right now? Right now, I need this food. I'm using this on purpose for the breakdown of the white man. Right now, I need this pottage because I'm going to die if I don't eat it. Right now, I need to eat. I don't need my birthright right now. So I see no benefit in it. Let me tell you something about white people. Like, white people are not futuristic thinkers. They don't think for the future. The white man built nuclear plants that's going to hurt the earth now. I'm sorry, that's going to hurt the earth in the future because he's thinking about how to make more money right now. That is one of the key traits of our oppressor. He's greedy as hell. He's full of avarice. He's so greedy. He thinks about what's going to benefit me in the moment. He's very, very in the moment. He lives for the moment. That YOLO, you only live once. That's the white man. That's not how blacks and Hispanics think. We save food and store food for the winter. We look for the future. That was all the slaves could talk about was the future. I know I'm in slavery now, but I will not wallow in despair because I'm going to look for the future. Not white people like Esau, in this, the actual man Esau, he could not think about tomorrow while he was hungry in the moment. He said, what in the hell is my birthright doing for me right now when I'm hungry now? I'm going to give away my birthright because what in the hell is it to me when I'm hungry and I'm going to die if I don't eat? I can't eat my birthright. I have to eat some food. So what in the hell does this birthright mean to me anyway? Give me the food. You take my birthright. That's how profane and vile the white man is. You don't care about the beauty of the earth right now, how clean the water is in the future. If it's going to make him money, he doesn't care what he has to do to destroy, to pillage, to mar. He's going to do it if it benefits him in the moment. He doesn't think about his posterity. He's not thinking about how the decisions he makes now is going to affect the posterity's future. He's not thinking about that. He wants his money now. He wants to have sex now. He wants an orgasm now. He wants pleasure now, riches now, glory now. Who cares what happens in the future? That's why that's where you get lasciviousness from. Unprotected sex. One night stands. That comes from white people's culture. That's not our culture. To have a one night stand. What are you doing? Putting your rod in a complete stranger? That's why you have AIDS. Do you think the white man cares about having AIDS when he's horny now? He's not thinking about HIV, chlamydia, gonorrhea, mononucleosis. He's thinking about pleasure in the moment. That's why the Bible says he's so profane. Lest there be any profane than Esau, who sold his birthright for a morsel of meat. He's willing to give away the promise from God simply because he's hungry in the moment. So you mean to tell me he's not willing to suffer? He's not willing to endure hunger, to endure pain like we have to do every year for the Day of Atonement? He's not willing to suffer that. Why? Because he wants pleasure now. Someone like that is never fit to rule.
That's right.
Someone who is thinking about in the moment instead of the future, he makes a terrible husband. A man like that will make a terrible father, and he's not fit to have any responsibilities because he's going to wither them away for pleasure. You know how many lottery winners go broke? All of them. All of them. They all go broke. You want to know why? Because of lack of impulse control. That's why. They have no impulse. They have to get what they can now. I want that Rolls Royce now. It's avarice. It's greed. It's a sin. God can't stand someone who has no control over their lust, over their desires. Right. A man has control over his desires. Because that woman has a gigantic behind, you're willing to put your rod in her unprotected without knowing her family, where she comes from, who she is? You mean to tell me that you can't have the urge to have sex and suppress it? You have to get in to every lust you want, to everything that gives you pleasure. You want to smoke weed, don't you? So what do? Smoke weed. You want to get high off of crack and shrooms and hash and weed and Molly and perk. So what do? You get it. You do it. You mean to tell me that you can't suppress that urge? You can't want to get high and not get high? You have to want it and do it. How do you stop child molestation then? You can't. How do you stop theft? You can't. How do you stop liars? You don't. Someone has a compulse to lie, an impulse to lie, they're going to lie because they can't control themselves. That's the reason why they're so disgusting. Someone who has lack of self-control like Esau. Remember, we're bringing the scripture out. Why? To show you a major character trait of the white man. He has no impulse control. You know who else doesn't have impulse control? Rapists don't have impulse control. PDF files don't have impulse control. Sinners, liars, adulterers, thieves, whores, whoremongers, they don't have impulse control. Someone who can't control their impulses, someone who can't control their lust and their desire, they're bound for death. They're bound for the grave because you can't control yourself. You're some idiot that gets angry in the bar and you have to fight. You get drunk. That's another impulse that you can't control, is the urge to want to drink excessively. Now you have to fight everybody and you abuse your wife and you offend your wife every time you get drunk. You stupid fat bitch, because you're drunk. Now she's crying in the corner somewhere. You offended her in front of the kids. You abuse the kids because you're a stinking, selfish, lack of control bastard. God hates somebody like that. Someone who can't control themselves. You don't know when to stop. You can't say, I've had too much to drink. Then you're not an adult. If someone has to constantly be over you, you're not fit to rule. Someone has to say, hey, it's time for you to put that down. You're someone who doesn't need responsibilities. What are you willing to do if you can't control yourself? Think about that for a second, Concur. If a white woman wants to suck your rod, you would let her. You would have sex with a 16-year-old girl. You would do it because you can't control yourself. You need someone there to control you. That's the white man. That's why
Right.
you want to know why child molestation is so prevalent. You want to know why rape is so prevalent, why abandoning children, selfishness, and lust is so prevalent, because you have a race of people who's in charge who cannot control itself. Look at that Donald Trump that sits in the White House. He has to have sex with anything with a hole in it. That's why he's a 36-count felon. What's his felony charges? Assault on women, abusing women, sexual harassment with women, groping women, touching women. That's someone, man, who doesn't have control over his impulses. He sees it behind, he has to grab it. He said that out of his own mouth. I could just grab him by the pussy, excuse my language. He said it out of his own mouth. He's telling you he don't have a control over himself. He doesn't even have control over his mouth. He couldn't even just think it and not say it. That's to you sisters who have to just say whatever comes to your stupid mind. So now you have to offend your husband and tell him everything that comes to your mind because you have no control over your mouth. Well, listen, what else don't you have control over? You better think about that when you brothers are courting a woman who just has to say everything. And this is a telltale sign when she says, oh, I'm sorry, I ramble, but I sometimes when it just comes to me, I have to say it. Oh, you have to say it? Well, what else do you have to do when you feel like doing it? If you have a work husband, you're going to have sex with that work husband because your vagina wanted it. And because you have to do it, because you wanted it, you are going to be an adulteress. You see where that goes when you don't have control over yourself, Kakam? You see how far you're willing to go? All you think about is the moment. You don't think about what's going to happen when you have sex with this girl. She's going to get pregnant and she's going to put you on child support. Now, when that minuscule penis of yours was hard and erect, you wasn't thinking about that. You were only thinking about, oh, I just got to get my rocks off. You didn't care what's going to happen after that. That's white people. That's the white man.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the next scripture. Give me Psalms chapter 53. This is the character traits of the white man. The character traits of this is his characteristics. Right? Give me Psalms 58:3.
Yeah, and if I could just the harken on what you was bringing out, how they live for the now, and how you mentioned about being a poor husband. See, like when it comes down to growing crops or whatnot, that's called husbandry.
Yes.
You know, and in the scriptures, you're supposed to let the land breathe for there's like a jubilee when you're not supposed to plant on a specific part of the land and let it bounce back. You know what I mean? And the white man is so much greedy and always here for the now that they don't never give the land a chance, that they just constantly planting and planting to the point where now they're so worried about the now, they gotta make GMOs, GMO seeds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And then it's all about the money, but then the GMO seeds tear up the land itself, and you can't even plant nothing else on that specific land besides that same crop.
Absolutely.
And so they just tear up the economic system, even to the point where, like, for example, the rainforest, particularly down in South America, the Amazon rainforest is literally called the lungs of the earth. You know what I mean? And they'll go down and chop down every tree from the sea to shining sea, just so they can get all the wood and whatever resources they can, because they just live in the now and they don't worry about the effects that it will have in the future. But now all of a sudden, you know, they want to talk about global warming and this and this and that, but you wasn't worried about it 50, 60 years ago when you was out here with the Industrial Revolution,
right,
and doing everything, like you said, pillaging the earth, because you just wanted the buck at that moment, you know, because get a
brother hand. Absolutely. And just like with the farming and agriculture, there was another time right in this America in history in the last 80 years. I'm gonna quiz you to see if you know this. where white people didn't give the land a break, and there was something that transpired because of it. Do you know what that period was called, or do you know what that era was called?
Kind of what is called the Dust Bowl.
Give that brother a hand. That brother studies. The Dust Bowl. That's because white farmers here in the Midwest, in Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, they didn't get in the plains, what they call the Great Plains of America. White farmers who came from Germany and Ireland, who the white government of America gave the land to, just gave it to, gave them the North American Indians land, called Manifest Destiny and the Sooner Act. That's why they're called the Oklahoma Sooners. They planted crops in Oklahoma, and then they planted more crops and more crops and more crops, and never gave the land any chance to rest. White people didn't know what the hell they were doing with farming. Now they're the face of it. When they didn't know just 80 years ago what the F they were doing, they should have just left it to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But because they're so greedy, they just said, we're just going to do what we don't know. And we're going to just plant because we got to eat. So we got to plant these crops. They don't know what, that's where you get the farmer's almanac guy. They had to do studies just to find out when's the best time to plant. When blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians been knowing it for thousands of years, because we are the animal husbandry. We are the original farmers. We are literally, quite literally, Adam's job was that animal husbandry. So you have these white people in the Great Plains in America who did what? Who didn't give the land a break. And because of it, all of that topsoil never got a chance to grow any plants, anything. It turned over and became this dust, this fine dust, because it never regenerated. The earth has to regenerate, which is why the Lord says, give it a break. Guess what? It became clouds of dust that swelled hundreds of feet high that traveled over 300 kilometers, 3,000 kilometers between the Dakotas and Oklahoma. A dust cloud that big to cover the central plains of America, all because of the failings and the lack of knowledge from the white man on farming, because he didn't give it a chance he didn't leave it alone for enough time. Now you had something called the Dust Bowl that killed people, that made people lose their farms, made white people lose their farms, all because they didn't know what the hell they were doing now. That was a hurt to the central part of America, which is called, you got a picture of it, Most High Christ, which is called the bread basket of America, the Central Plains. Look how big those dust clouds are. Can you click on just one to make it bigger? Oh, go to that map. Go to that map right there that shows the area that it affected. That one right there. Click on that and try to make that big out. Can everybody see that out? This is about 60%. I would say a little less than 60. I would say like 40% of America. That's how much these dust clouds covered. All because white people don't know what the hell they're doing. All because they didn't listen. All because they didn't obey the Bible, and they decided to go and do what they didn't know how to do. And now these dust clouds formed and created the Dust Bowl, and it was a terrible time to live in, because at that time also was the Great Depression. So these white people that live out here in Oklahoma, Kansas, the Dakotas, the Central Plains of America, Nebraska, Iowa, guess what happened? They literally ate dust stock. They went hungry and died from hunger, all because of their lack of knowledge on farming. Now they're the damn champions of it. The water. Oh, that's perfect right there. Look at that.
Yes,
this right here is all the dust that it covered. All the dust, all the states that all the dust covered from their lack of knowledge on farming. The water can come. Now you can go to the book of Psalms. Go to the book of Psalms. Let's get this going out. Let's finish this out for time's sake. And then I want you to, after you read this, I want you to give me the video I sent you from Instagram.
We might have to do a part 2.
All of it. So like I said again.
I said we might have to do a part 2 because
I think we are.
There's definitely a lot of other links. And
listen, and they too good to miss up. They too good to pass up. This is what I want you to do. I want you to give me the video now and then read Psalms 58. And then we're going to pick it back up. I think everybody likes our series, Kakam. I think people like, ask Sister Shalom Nahar. Ask the brothers and sisters. What does the young men say? They are also very lazy people. They create robots for the most simplest things as well. Give the young man a hand. They created guns because they lacked the combat skills to defeat their enemies. Give the brother a hand. That's the absolute truth. White people are lazy. And don't ever let some white person tell you how lazy every other race of people are when they're the laziest people in the world. Lazy as can be. You ever had a job I can work with? I work with so many different races of people. The laziest that any black person will ever admit to. Mexicans, East Indians, Asians will tell everybody the laziest piece of garbage on the job is white workers, are white workers. There is no one lazier than white people. This isn't anecdotal evidence. This is the truth. White people are lazy, brother. There's never been any white man who've accomplished anything without the help of the Negro slave, without the help of Latinos and Native Indians in world history. You think Alexander the Great, the so-called great, were doing those things by himself? That's history. That's what you want to believe. And what white historians tell you, you better go research Hannibal Barcus and research some of those men that he allowed in the Greek and the Roman army who won battles for him. You think that these white people that they glorify in history like these mathematicians, and you think that they did these things, brother? White people have never created anything. They regurgitated things they've stolen from peasants. White people are lazy. They haven't created anything. I'll tell you what white people are good at. Play the video. This is what white people are good at, Kakam.
Yeah, culture vultures.
Yeah, this is what they're good at.
Fair use, by the way.
The water.
Salaki. Hold on, let me turn the sound off. So it says satanic sex abuse.
No. Don't skip over that word. Satanic child.
Yeah, kind of
abuse video ring busted.
Eastern Australia on an early morning ring.
Brothers and sisters. No, go ahead, play it. Keep playing it, Kakam. I'm just letting everybody know.
Breaking down a door in a Sydney suburb and arresting the alleged 26-year-old ringleader of a group accused of being engaged in some of the most depraved criminal activity imaginable.
Police will allege in court that this international group were engaging in conversations and the sharing of material which depicted child abuse and the torture of children, involving symbols and rituals linked to Satanism and the occult.
A crackdown on an alleged international satanic child sex abuse material ring. In all, police arrested 4 men in and around Sydney, seizing multiple devices.
Police will allege in court that the initial examination of those devices has discovered thousands of videos depicting the abuse of live children aged between babies and 12 years of age. Amongst these deplorable images were also a number of videos depicting the
babies between the ages of newborn babies and 12 years old. These white men created this satanic child sex ritual ring where they would PDF and abuse babies up to 12 years old. You understand? That's what white men are good at. That's what white people are good at. Being disgusting and evil and satanic. That's what they're good at doing. They're not good, however, at thinking about now listen, this is, once again, this just goes to reading about Esau and their nature and their character. Kakam Gabar. These white men that would, and this is something that always blows my mind whenever you watch that To Catch a Predator. To Catch a Predator will blow your mind when you're in the world, when you don't know the spirit of white people. Those white men always say to Chris Hansen, when he says, "Do you know who I am?" All of them always said yes. Do you know what that means? That means that they were trying to lure young boys and young girls to abuse them, knowing that there is a online catch a predator, what do they call them, initiative to catch men like you. You know, it's like This is where black criminals get it from. Whenever a brother gets busted for selling drugs, every black person who sells drugs knows there's a high risk of getting caught. Not even a high risk. That's the wrong way to put it. You know, when you sell drugs, you're going to get caught. You know you're going to go to jail and you're going to do time. You know it. So why do you do it? Because you're going to sell your birthright for a morsel of meat. You don't care about the future. You care about right now. You want the fast money right now. You want the Rolls Royce now. Those disgusting devils wanted the pleasure that they got from abusing babies and children now. They didn't care. They're not thinking about, well, when I go to jail and get caught by Chris Hansen and CNN, they're not even thinking about that. They think about it, but they don't care about it because they care about today. I'm going to have sex with this child right now. I'm going to attempt to be a PDF file now because I have the urge to do it now, like your black Christian pastors who molested children. They know that there's a great chance they're going to get caught. Are they thinking about that? They're not thinking about that because the pleasure, the pleasure that they're going to receive far outweighs the thought of spending 15 years in prison. Now, they're going to risk spending 15 years of their life in prison, the rest of their lives in prison, for a moment of pleasure. That is insane. It's ridiculous. Now, as you're looking at these disgusting white men being evil and disgusting and nasty, I want you to think about your life and think about what you are willing to risk. Think about the rest of your life and the things you're willing to risk and what you're willing to risk them for. Give me the scripture out. Psalms 58.
Khan, yeah, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
The what?
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
This is the scripture about the white man, the wicked.
That's
He's
right.
the wicked on the earth. He's the old serpent, Idumea, Adawan, the devil, that deceiver, Satan. That's who he is. That's who the white man is. And so he's estranged from the womb. So stop telling me that white children are so good. White people, we're all created equal. We are not created equal. We're not. Because this is what their children are doing. Do you understand? This is what is in them from a child. The impulse to be a PDF file and an unaliver. This isn't something that they were nurtured as. This is something that nature told them they were going to be. White people were created to be vile and to be the devil. Now you may ask why? Because we are supposed to rule them. We're supposed to show the power of God by civilizing white people. And white people need to be civilized. They need it. They need our help, Kakun. They need Commander Juliana's help. They need it. And we're going to give it to them under Christ. We're going to give them the help they need. We're going to educate white people with something the world has never seen. They need to be civilized. We need to beat the Indian in white people and save the man. That's what white people need. They have to kill that satanic cult ritual self that they have. And they need to say, we got to save the man in white people. This is for all of you black people who look like Candace Owens. Candace Owens is married to a white man. God, what's going to happen to her in the near future? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine what that white man is telling Candace Owens to do to her, to do to him in the bedroom? Brother, they need to be civilized because they are animals. They are dogs who need to be brought to heel. And we're going to do it under the power of Christ when he returns. When the black man by the name of Christ returns, he's going to civilize white people because white people need to be civilized so they don't continue to have satanic cult child sex rings where they're abusing babies. Now, not only were they abusing babies, they were doing it on camera, Kakam, which means what? They were disseminating that to other white men. who like that kind of thing. Could you imagine how many hundreds of thousands of white men, if they were to look at the logs of the men who watched those videos, would be? The number would be astronomical. That wasn't in America. That was in Australia. Do you understand? The internet affects the world. How many white men you think around the world were watching that?
Right.
You see the problem? They need to be brought to heel. White people are a virus, and they have to be made civil. And we have the power to do it. Under Christ, we're going to civilize white people because the wicked are born that way. He can't help it. The white man was made to be the devil. He can't help who he is. The problem is we have to help him. We have to help him. You love white people so much, then help your white friends by telling them this, that they were born to be cruel. They were born to be the devil. They were born to be PDF files. They were born to be Jeffrey Dahmer and Donald Trump. Here's the good news. If they relinquish their birthright, if they relinquish the power they have over the earth to command and Juliana, we can help them. We are fit to help white people come. We're fit to make them civilized. We're fit to civilize them and to show them the error in their ways. White people have to be made civil, and we can do it. But white people, we're going to need your help. You're going to have to tell your white friends and your white fathers that have all the power and money to give it all to Command and Juliana so that we can rule over them, and there won't be any more satanic child sex rings. There won't be any more pedophilia under Christ. When black people rule, there won't be any more theft. There won't be thieves. There won't be any more liars and drug addicts and drug dealers. With black men in charge and Hispanic and Native Indian men in charge, my God, this earth will be purified of all the vile, disgusting things that defiled it, like the white man. With that, Salakia, you had something you want to say, Kakam?
Well, I had a precept that kind of goes along with that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so speaking of that, the wicked, the ungodly, the so-called white man, they live in the now.
Yes.
You know, so this is from the book of the Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, and it's just at verse 1. And like whenever y'all get a chance, read the whole thing, you know, because it's definitely real heavy. But it says, for the ungodly said, and the ungodly in this context is the so-called white man. It says, for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright, our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from their grave. So just like Esau, you know, where he said, I'm finna die. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have the faith. He didn't count the faith of the Lord because he was supposed to get the birthright.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really supposed to be Jacob anyway. But still, just because he was the firstborn, you know, he was supposed to adhere to the paths of the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? But he lacked that faith. And so, of course, he says, I'm finna die. So no one has returned from the grave. You know, and reading on.
Listen, you know what that is? You only live once.
Right. YOLO.
That's how you are taught to live in this world, in this evil, cruel world ruled by your oppressor. You're taught you only live once. That's the philosophy here. I only live once. I might as well go have sex with those kids. I might as well kill my mother. I might as well be a PDF file. I might as well go R-word that woman, rape that woman, because I only live once. I only get one chance to do it. That's the thought process in a devil, in an evil, wicked person. Because I only get to live one time, that you think you only live once. Because you don't know about reincarnation, the way life works. You think, well, I only get one chance to smoke weed and get high with my buddies and my pals. I only get one chance to pledge for that sorority or fraternity. I only get one chance. That's what black mothers tell black girls. You only get, listen, you just know you how to settle down. You're too young. Go have fun. What does have fun mean? I'm gonna open my legs to every Tom, Dick, and Harry until my vagina is a hole in the wall somewhere. Until it's a gigantic hole. The hole is as big as this ring light I got right here. That's how big that hole becomes in that woman. And now she's ready to settle down now. Yeah,
Right.
that's someone who is an evil, wicked sinner who practices and believes some philosophy like that. You don't only live once, and you're going to return to this earth, and you're going to pay for all the crime and the evil you've done in the life before. So, like you to come, go ahead.
Yeah, Kana Makan. And so, verse 2. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall hereafter as though we had never been. So, like you said, they don't like that's that YOLO spirit. You know, I'm finna die, ain't gonna come back. But dropping down, you know what I'm saying, to the main part. Let me see. So yeah, verse 5, it says, for our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Verse 6. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. So yeah, that's what the so-called white man do. They go throughout the world, they use the creatures like they some kids. You know what I'm saying? They go hunting and kill, and it's not for food anymore. They do it just for the vainglory of it. You know what I'm saying? They colonize our entire planet because they're all about the now, and they don't have the face of the Lord, and it's about what they're gonna do now, and they don't know, they don't have it thereafter. Like you said,
Damn right. Yeah. Real quick, the young man James asked if Revelations chapter 18 verse 5 is about America. Yes, it's absolutely talking about America. That what is it? I looked it up on my phone just a second. It says her sins have reached unto heaven. Her sins is speaking about the great whore that did sit on many waters. That's America. You understand? Right. The whore of Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. And that's just what I was saying. Now listen, we're going to civilize this place. Under Christ, we're going to civilize our oppressor, the white man, and show these other nations how they're supposed to live, what's right and what's wrong, and what they are not allowed to do and what they are allowed to do. Everyone understand? With that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer can come. We're going to finish this next week because we got a whole we got a lot to talk about next Wednesday. We got a lot to talk about. This weekend, if I may, here in Kansas City, we're having a food and clothing drive where we'll be giving out some chili. The sisters are making some hot chili. Give them a hand. We'll be giving out some chili and clothes for children, for women, and for men. All ages, all sizes. Will be at 31st and Prospect, on the corner of 31st and Prospect in front of the Lucille Bluford Library. And then Sunday evening at sundown, right here in Kansas City, we'll be hosting and holding down the Feast of Hanukkah, the Feast of Dedications. And that will also be here in Kansas City as well. The address, give me 1 second to come. The address is...
You want me to put that in the chat, or?
Please, if you don't, it's going to be 6219 Blue Ridge Boulevard, Raytown, Missouri, 64133. Right? 6219 Blue Ridge Boulevard, Raytown, Missouri, 64133. I could do it while you reading the announcements, but that's what it is. That's okay. The address to the Feast of Hanukkah Sunday at sundown, and then 31st and Prospect this Saturday is where we'll be donating clothes. We'll be giving out food, chili, clothes. So you come down to Prospect and get you what you need, man. This is under Commander Giuliano, where he feeds and clothes and houses his people, and he helps the sick, he heals the poor, and he delivers those who are afflicted. And you under Christ, and that's what you want to come and you want to get that help. This Saturday is going to be cold, so come on and get the water. Come on and get what you need. All right, the water. Go ahead, come.
Yes, Salakia, sister has something you want to say.
Salakia, sir, I have a question.
Please.
So I hear you say Missouri versus Missouri. Mm-hmm. And I do hear like the older generation do the similar thing, Missouri versus Missouri, or Iowa, or Iowa used, I think some used to be what. Why is that?
Salakia, if I may, my father is he's a country boy, And the proper way to say it is Missouri because it is a Gadite name. And the Gadites called the river the Missouri. And they were called the Missouri people, the way that Kansas, though that tribe of Gadites were called the Kansa tribe with a Z, not an S, the Kansa tribe. So the proper way to say it is Missouri, even though it has an I at the end. That came from our oppressor. That I found out after I came in the truth. We've been calling it Missouri, just my family, because they're country and they're from the South. My father's side of the family, his father's from the South. So that was the way they pronounced it. But yeah, to come to find out, it's the right way to pronounce it because that's the way the Gadites called it. It's like Asawatami or Olathe or Lenexa. These are all Gadite names. And I try to say it the way the Gadites would say it instead of our oppressor would say it because we are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? And this country, a lot of the names come from the Gadites. The states are named after Gadite tribes. The Sioux and the Chickasaw, right? Like Chickasaw, Mississippi, or Shenandoah Valley. That's all Gadite names. And 90% of America is all Gadite names. So I try to say it the way a Gadite would pronounce it. The way if something is Latin or the way a Mexican would say something, like El Paso, Texas. You hear me say Texas a lot of times instead of Texas, because I try to relate to the other 12 tribes of the nation of Israel and not try to be so closed off to just the tribe of Judah. You understand what I'm saying?
Con, the water for the breakdown.
I had a bar, sis. The water for your question. That was an amazing question. Give the sister a hand. The water, sis. Just blame it on being country. Shalom, no, that's all. My daddy just an old country Judite nigga that you know grew up slopping hogs, and his daddy raised hogs, and they had a farm. So just you can fault that side of my family, sis. But then I came in the truth, and my eyes was awake. It was opened, and I learned that this is actually the way you say it because of the tribe of Gad. You understand?
That's right.
The water for the question. That was a good question. And I can't wait to see y'all this Saturday here in Kansas City, this weekend in Kansas City, Lord alive.
Yep. And with that, this is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. A rule for new brother and sister: when a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves for the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After that 6 months period, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to that brother or sister. Then there's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court one another. And after that 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the heads to marry. Ties, that is a commandment. You can find that in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, 8 through 10, which means a tenth in the Hebrew. Ma'asharah is 10% of every penny or increase the Lord gives you. You give that to the Treasury Department or to the teacher. Pre-fund or free will offering, that's whatever amount you would like, and it's not mandatory. And the upcoming holy convocations is this Sunday at sundown is the Lord's Feast of Dedication. That's Hanukkah. You can find that in the book of Maccabees.
First Maccabees,
chapter 4. And then that's an 8-day feast. And then after that, we have the Feast of Purim. And then, of course, like the brother just mentioned, we have the food and clothing drive down in Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah, so definitely shout out. If you need any further information, reach out to Officer Malak.
Most High Christ.
And yeah, if any brother wants to join the school, man, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, war scarf. And with that, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. So, Men of Israel, Majim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Amaju, Barak, Yahweh Barakatah,
Yahweh Shimei Asher-Bakatham.
Yamatai, hands down. Sorry, we're gonna give it courtesy salute to the sisters. Amaju, which means the sand. Men of Israel, Amaju Shabbat, Amaju, Barak,
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shimei Shimei Awashai.
Yahweh Shema Al-Than by Shimei Awashai.
Yamatai class.
Christ. Good work to come. Good work, like always.
Under bar, shalom.
Shalom.